Okay, let's click on it. Okay, so it is recording on his computer. Okay, let's start our speaking practice today. And we have Mr. Butt and Mr. Lin here. They are about to take the exam very soon. Mr. Butt will take the exam in, let's say, 2 weeks, isn't it?
Yes.
That's true, right? And Mr. Lin will be taking exam in about 5 or 6 weeks, right?
Yes.
Is that true, Mr. Lin?
Yes, it's true.
Okay, you should speak louder, a little bit louder. Okay. So first of all, let's do more speaking practice today. And this is 2021, so we should be working on this random practice test. I should thank Mr. Ngọc Bách because he provided this one for everyone for free. Okay, thank you. You should go and support him too. Okay, so now without further ado, let's start. Moment, just a moment. Right. Where are we? Okay, so we should start with part 1 first. So home and accommodation, I assume you know how to do. Okay, let's go to number 4 of speaking part 1. Okay, let's talk about trees now. So, Mr. Lin, please, have you planted trees?
Yes, I actually have went to a farm before. Of course, it's just a volunteer action, but I did have a chance
A volunteer
to plant
act.
a tree.
A volunteer act, yeah.
Yeah.
A volunteer act. Because act is only one time that you do something. Action is a whole process. Act nha, hành vi nha, một cái hành động thôi. Còn action là nguyên một cái quá trình nào đó nha. So you need to say, okay, say again, please. Have you planted trees?
Yes, I have planted a tree before because I have opportunity to went on a farm, which give me a chance to
The chance to, which give me the chance to
plant a tree.
Oh, to plant trees. Okay, good. Okay, so Mr. Butt, please, have you planted trees before?
Yes, I had the opportunity to plant many trees in my backyard. I lived with my grandparents when I was a child, and
When I was a child, yeah.
when I was a child, and my house had a small backyard that I can plant many trees.
Your house has a small backyard. You can plant many trees. That's very good. That's very good. That's excellent. Okay, so Mr. Lin, please, do you keep plants at home?
Well, because I live with my mom, I would say that she is the one that keep plant at home. But I do help her, but I do help her to water the tree.
You do help her to water the trees, right?
Yes.
I think you are speaking a bit too fast, Mr. Lin. Can you slow down?
Okay.
Okay. So you won't so you won't be missing the final sounds of every words. Mấy cái từ, mấy cái âm cuối mình cẩn thận nha, Lin. Okay, so Mr. Butt, please, do you know anything about growing a plant?
I personally know how to plant a tree, but just for a basic, like I know that we have to if we want a tree grow up, we need to nurture their roots,
To nurture.
to nurture their roots
Their what?
by roots. Like
Their roots, you mean?
roots. Sorry.
The roots. The roots.
The roots by water, and the ideal moment is in the morning.
Okay.
Ideal time is in the morning.
I see. Okay, so Mr. Butler, what plant did you grow when you were young?
I remember that I grew rose when I was in
Rose.
primary
So
school.
you grew roses when you were younger?
Yeah, I grew a rose, not roses, just only one.
No,
Like
don't grow
a
just a
plant.
rose, you know. They grow a rose tree or a rose plant or rose bud. They don't grow just a single rose, you know. Let's just say you plant
Okay.
rose. Let's just say you plant rose, not a rose, you know.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so Mr.
So,
yes.
okay.
Please, yes, please. Okay.
I think there's something wrong with my internet.
No, I don't
Can
think.
you hear me?
Yeah, I think everything's perfect. Let me just turn I turn my camera off. You don't need it anyway. So, Mr. Butt, please, do you think places with trees attract more visitors than places with few trees?
In my opinion, I totally agree with this opinion because I personally love trees and the green area. So I think that the area which was covered by
Which is covered.
which is covered by plants is more comfortable. And
You mean the shades? All the shades will provide the coolness and the comfort that everyone wish for, isn't it?
yes, I think so. And it makes the atmosphere in that area maybe cooler and I don't know how to describe that.
Okay, maybe yes, Mr. Can you describe it? Do you think places with trees attract more visitors than places with fewer trees?
Yes, I personally believe so. Because I live in one of the largest city in Vietnam. Concrete forest, jungle. So
Oh, it's called concrete jungle. Yeah, the concrete jungle of Vietnam. Yeah.
Yes, so I always surrounded by
I am always surrounded by
về nhân tạo là gì muốn tiêu rồi
artificial, man-made or artificial.
Artificial object. So a place with more trees will help me relax, and it's just more comfortable to be in.
It's more comfortable to be in, right? It's just more inviting and comfortable to be in. Nó mang tính mời gọi người ta đến hơn và nó thoải mái hơn để ở trong cái môi trường đó. It's just more inviting and comfortable to be in, right?
Yes.
All right. Very good. Let's talk about museum now. Museum. So, Mr. Butler, do you like visiting museum and why?
Yes, I really love to visit a museum because I personally love history subjects.
Okay.
So when I was a student, I usually went to a museum or a exhibition about history at the weekend. So that's the reason why.
Say again? That's what?
That's the reason that I.
Yeah, that's the reason that. What? That's the reason that.
That's the reason that I like to visiting museum.
Okay, so how about you, Mr. Lin? Do you like visiting museum and why?
Personally, I would say yes, because in my opinion, museum will give you a look into a past event that you don't even know that it exists. So
You don't even notice that it exists, right? That it exists. Right.
so
Please continue. Yep, please continue.
and of course the quiet of the environment
The quiet,
help you.
the quietness.
The quietness of the environment is just very good for you to have some deep thought.
The peace and tranquility. You remember this one? The peace and tranquility. Sự yên bình và tĩnh lặng. The peace and tranquility. Yes. Right. So, Mr. Buckley, how often do you visit museum? And for what reasons?
When I was a student, I usually came to the museum at the weekend, maybe once a week. But recently, I don't go to museum at all. I don't go to visit museum anymore because I don't have time. But I hope that I can see some museums in my hometown someday.
I see. You hope you can see some museum in your hometown someday. This is interesting because your hometown is Saigon, and
Yes.
you don't even visit like all of the museum in that city, right?
Yes.
Nên phải nói là no mới đúng nha. You have to say no.
Cái đó đúng nói luôn.
See,
Okay.
a lot of you still need to practice that logic. Nhớ nha, logic nha, logic người Việt người Anh khác nhau nha. You have to say no, okay? Alright, so Mr. Lin, please, are there any museum in your hometown?
Well, there are quite a few, and of course they are very famous. Like
Like what? The War Remnant Museum, right? Bảo tàng chứng tích chiến tranh. War Remnant Museum. What else? I think we have bảo tàng nghệ thuật, art. We have art museum, and there's a few more, I think. But to be honest, I don't think Saigon has so many museums, right?
We have Vietnam Historical Museum in
Vietnam. Okay, Vietnam Historical Museum. Yes. All right.
We have the museum for of the woman.
Women Museum.
Woman. Yes, in District 3.
District 3, yeah, District 3.
Located in Võ Thị Sáu Street.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay. So, Mr. Butt, please, do you think there should be more museums in your hometown, and why? This is a part one question.
In my perspective, I think that the numbers of museum in my hometown is enough, because I can list around 7 to 10 museums in my hometown. So I think that's enough. Because if because the cost and
because of the cost
to build.
Because of the cost and the maintenance fee to keep them is actually not cheap, right?
Yeah, it's not necessary.
But the museum can charge customers for entrance fee, you know? They can do that, why not? I mean, it's really good for, tourism. But, okay, Mr. Lin, what do you think about this one? Should your hometown have more museum?
I personally believe that we have enough museum, because building more only make it lose its value, because a museum
make it lose its value, right?
Yes.
To make it lose
its value.
Lose the value.
Because the purpose of museum is to concentrate many artifacts. So if you build more,
To concentrate, we need
Artifact.
artifacts in one place, right?
Artifact. Yes. Building more will reduce the amount of artifact in one museum itself.
Itself, in one museum itself.
Itself.
Right. And it would reduce the attractiveness of every single one of them, right? Nó giảm cái tính mà hấp dẫn của từng cái bảo tàng. Alright, so let's okay, so let's do number 6, taking a rest. So taking a rest, Mr. Lin, please. So how often do you take a rest?
Well, personally, I usually take a rest after like a work.
After work.
Cái như là cái từng khoảng công việc á, ở giữa nó thì
Like you mean between every work sessions, right?
Yes. Because I believe it's more effective to do so, and it helps your mind always sharp and because it's help your mind always in good shape.
To keep your mind in good shape. Very good. To keep your mind in good shape. And also to keep your clarity. You know, clarity means like you can think clear. Clarity means like you can think clearly if you take a rest. So, Mr. Butt, please, do you take a nap when you're taking your rest? A nap means like sleep for a little bit while.
It depends on a time of the day. If
Okay.
I take a rest during the time between morning and afternoon, I would like to take a nap. Approximately maybe 10 to 15 minutes.
Oh, I see.
But at the other, but at the other time, I don't take a nap at all.
You don't take a rest at all. Huh? Interesting.
Yes.
So, don't you think it's bad for your health if you do not take a lunch nap? Yes, Mr.
Who?
Yeah, Mr. Butt, please. Don't you think that not taking a lunch nap is bad for your health?
I think that depends on each individual, and because in my opinion, some people, if they have a lot time, they have enough time for recover their health, like 8 hours at night. Might be they might be don't need a nap.
They might not need a nap, right? They might not need a nap, right?
Yeah, they might not need a lunch nap.
Right. Well, Mr. Lin, please. How do you feel after taking a nap?
Well, personally, I feel terrible, and
What?
just-
You feel terrible? After
Yes,
taking a nap? After taking a nap?
yes, I feel terrible.
Why?
Because personally, taking a nap is I believe it's not effective enough. The sleep period is just way too short for you to actually recover. So it's just like you got cut in the.
But don't you think after that short nap, you feel more energized and you can do more, no?
No, I personally believe that I will accomplish more in a nap and just take spend just take a real quality rest at the night.
Oh, at night. So in the night, or at night, yeah. So, Mr. Butt, please, is it important for you to take a rest every day?
Yes, of course. In my opinion, that's essential for everyone. Because our mentality and our body need
Wait,
to
our
take a
minds,
rest.
nobody. Our minds and our body. Mentality là cái cách suy nghĩ nha. Mentality, it means like your mindset, how you think. Your minds and your body. Okay.
Yeah. So our minds and our bodies need to take a rest after working
Okay.
to recover. So
Right. So it's very important, right?
yeah, it's essential.
Okay. Right. It's essential. I see. Mr. Lin, please, do you think that Vietnamese people work too much nowadays?
Uh, wow. Personally, I believe so. Because it's most people just got carried away when they start working, and of course, left thing behind is not a very Vietnamese people way. So
I mean, leaving
people,
things undone, leaving things halfway, leaving things undone, để cho mọi thứ nó chưa có làm xong, leaving things undone, or how can I say, do things halfway, làm mọi thứ nửa chừng. Do things halfway is not a Vietnamese way to do, right?
yes.
No, if I nói là no. Shh.
Oh yes.
You have to say no. Okay, it's not. Okay. All right, try again. So do you think Vietnamese people work a lot these days?
I what?
Hỏi lĩnh.
All right.
uh, yes, I totally agree with this opinion. Uh, of course, it's people need to work hard so that they can prepare for when they get older, and
Yes.
of course, but I think a lot of people is just too focused on it, and they are missing all the value aspect of life.
Values. They keep mixing
Value.
up the values, right?
Yes.
All right, so Mr. Butt, please. Do you think that Vietnamese people is resting too much and not working too efficiently?
I don't think so. Despite that, Vietnam has many vacations and holidays to
Okay.
and holidays, but the young generations nowadays they work too hard because Vietnam is on the way to the developing country.
You mean
So
Vietnam on a way to be recognized as a developed country, right?
yes,
On the way to be recognized.
that's nice. On the way to be recognized as a developed country. So even the middle-aged businessman or to a young student, they work too hard nowadays. So I don't think that they take rest too much.
All right. So I think the situation is very true for Mr. Lin. I'm sure he studied like 14 hours or something per day.
Yeah.
I'm sure he studied a lot. I'm sure. Even more than I work. Okay, so let's do number 7, farms and farming, which is weird. I mean, we are just jumping around topics, and sometimes the topic can be really weird. It's nothing to do with what you're doing, but you just have to practice anyway. Now, farms and farming, cái việc làm nông và những nông trại. So, have you visited a farm before, Mr. Butt? And what do you say?
I had the opportunity to go to a farm in which is situated in Lang province. I came there maybe 5 years ago, and I saw a huge farm with ox and cows, and a very beautiful landscape, immensely landscape there.
Right, so you said ox and cows, right?
Yes.
I think ox, plural form is oxen, right? Is it? Let me check. Ox, con cừu, well, not ox. Basically, I think ox and the oxen, yeah, oxen. Plural is oxen. Okay, so Mr. Lin, please, what can you do on a farm? What can you do on a farm?
you can grow a variety of different
Trees
food.
and plants, food. Yeah.
Yes, tree and plant. Of course, there are many type of them, but damn it.
Good one.
Đợi này suy nghĩ không có ý rồi.
Okay, how about growing cattle? Keeping cattle. Gia súc á, cattle.
Đúng rồi.
Keeping cattle.
And keeping cattle.
Okay, or keeping animals. Or cattle. Alright, so keeping cattle. Okay, so Mr. Butt, please, do you think farming is important? Or this is absolute?
Yes.
I mean, this is obsolete.
In my opinion, farming is vital for the country and for the city, for the country, because it is a part of agriculture,
Okay.
and it keeps the
Say again, please.
production.
Say again that last one, please.
And it provide a farming production to the citizens, or even export outside the country.
Okay, outside the country, I see. Right, so are there any farms in your hometown, Mr. Butt?
Now, unfortunately, there are not any farm located in my hometown, because I live in the mega city of Vietnam, Saigon. So the nearest farm the nearest farm from Saigon is about
Right? Is it all the way in Long, right? Is it all the way in Long, right? Or somewhere on the outskirts of town, I think.
Yeah, the outskirts, rural area may be more than 100 kilometers from the urban area.
Okay, so Mr. Lin, please. Have you visited a farm yourself? Or with your friends?
Well, because Vietnam is an agricultural country, there are a lot of farms.
Yes, there's a lot of farms, and
of course, which I have opportunity to visit one.
Once.
Once. Where? I guess. Yeah, once.
Okay, and what else? Okay, so do you think farming will disappear in the future? This is part one question.
Well, I don't believe so, because farming is a main source of a way to provide food for people. So it's definitely very essential. So I don't believe
very essential. It's absolutely essential. Nhớ cái essential là extreme adjective. It must go with absolutely, totally, or completely, which is also extreme adverb. Remember, extreme adjective will go with extreme adverb. So you have to say it is absolutely important, or it's absolutely essential.
It's absolutely essential.
Okay, so all right. Okay, so I think let's go to part 2 and 3. I think we did number 5 already. So let's go to page 12 out of 36, and it is describe a live sport event you watched before. Miêu tả một cái sự kiện thể thao mà live nha, trực tiếp luôn á, mà bạn đã
xem live on TV trên được.
You can say that you watch live on
TV.
You can watch live on TV. Yeah, I think it's okay. Yeah, that you watch before. Be careful with past tense. Okay, cẩn thận quá khứ nè. You should say when it happened, where it took place, who you watch it with, and explain how you felt about this experience. Experience là trải nghiệm nha. Okay, and then you have a part 3 related to that. Do you prefer to watch live sports or watch on TV? So basically live sports mean like you actually watch the people playing that directly, so not on TV. Even though if you watch it on TV, it's not called a live. I mean live watching. So you know what I
Xem
mean?
trực tiếp luôn.
Well, you can just make up a story, you know. This is IELTS. You don't even have to tell the truth. This is just an IELTS practice. You can just make up the story, just lie about it, no problem for IELTS, you know.
Yes.
Remember, cứ xạo ra một câu chuyện đâu sao đâu, nó IELTS mà. Kiểm tra kỹ năng ngôn ngữ thôi mà đâu kiểm tra sự thật nữa. Anyway,
mình mà lĩnh có thể nói là em đi tham gia trận World Cup năm 98
Yeah.
mà em sinh năm 2000 là mấy.
you can say that you attended a live sport event in 1980 and 98 and you were born in 2000 something. It can sound extremely like nonsense or nonsensical. Oh, sorry. It can sound extremely like weird. But this is IELTS anyway. People do not ask for your truth or honesty. Okay, and we talk about competition and students. And what kind of sport do Vietnamese people like to watch? Why do some people like to watch live sports and you prefer to watch live sport or watch on TV? Okay, you will have like 2 minutes to think about it. Okay, 2 minutes start now. Okay, I think it's time now. Okay, please describe a sport event you watched before. Mr. But you first, please. Your 2 minutes start now.
Alright, I would like to describe a live sport that I
Đánh dừng cho em đi thẳng vào vấn đề. Go straight into the point, please.
it was 2 years ago, and that's the final match of Asian Cup about football, and match between Vietnam and Malaysia. So I had the opportunity to go to Philippines, the host country.
The Philippines.
To go to the Philippines and the host country. The Philippines. Sorry.
I had a chance to go to the Philippines. Nhóm đảo là có
Yes,
đảo.
I said it.
Okay.
I said it.
Right. Okay. And
to the Philippines and the host country. So when I reached to Manila, I
when I reach Manila.
When I reached Manila,
or when you came to Manila. When you came to Manila, or when you arrived at Manila.
When I arrived to Manila, I led 30 people with me because at that time I was a tour guide. And they came to Philippines to see the game and combine with tourism as well. And we came to a national. We came to a national stadium of Philippines Philippines, and we spent 90 minutes. There to see the game, and at that time there were approximately. I'm sorry. There were approximately more than 10,000 enthusiastic fans of Vietnam national team, and we win that game.
We won
Vietnam
that game.
National team. We won that game. And yes, and all the members of my group was lost their voice, but it worth it.
It was worth it. Okay, em lố mất 40 giây á. You are basically 40 seconds more than you actually need to. Okay, I should have stopped you. Okay, you should have talked a bit faster here, I guess. Okay, Mr. Lin, please. Describe a live sport event you watched before, please.
So the only live sport event that I have attended is in 2014 in the
2014. Two,
2004 two two 2000
2014.
2014.
Okay.
It's a World Cup match in Brazil.
World Cup. It's a
Of course,
It's a World Cup match in Brazil.
whoa! It's a World Cup match in Brazil between the Germany and
Between
the Brazil.
Germany, Germany.
Uh,
Between Germany and
Germany and the
between
Brazil.
Germany and Brazil.
Between the Germany and the Brazil.
Đó.
Hả?
Tên quốc gia mà không được tạo thành bởi một cái nhóm đảo hay cái gì cả thì nó không có được. Between Germany and Brazil.
Between Germany and Brazil.
Okay.
Of course, the whole experience is awesome.
Yes.
I have a lot of memorable.
The whole experience was.
The whole experience was amazing, and
Okay.
I have a lot of memorable memory with
Memorable
my
memory.
family.
Say you had a lot of memorable memory about. You had a lot of memories. Yeah, you have a lot of memories about it.
Yes, because it's a very unique experience.
Okay.
Of course, the only problem I have with it is waiting outside the museum. It's definitely a pain.
It was definitely a pain, right? Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to part 3 now. So, Mr. Buck, please, do you prefer to watch live sports or watch it on TV? And what is the main reasons for your choice?
I completely, I totally prefer to watch live sports at the stadium or rather than watch it on TV.
Okay.
Because I love the atmosphere when the fan or the enthusiasts yell and motivate their players.
Okay.
Secondly, I think that's the main reason, because I came to the stadium once and actually we hardly to see everything happens on a big stadium. So
Okay.
the only thing that we can enjoy, that's the atmosphere at the moment. So I think that's the main reason.
Of the moment, not at the moment.
Of the
Của
moment.
cái giây đó chứ không phải là ở thời điểm hiện nay.
Yes.
Of the moment, not at the moment. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Right. So, Mr. Lim, please, why do some people like to watch live sports? It's a part 3 question.
I believe that watching live is one of the way for you to show your support to your favorite team, and also you can discuss the match with other fans. The atmosphere and the breathtaking view of the museum is also another reason that I believe many people want to watch live sport.
That's interesting point of view. Like the atmosphere of the live event, it can be extremely eclectic, right? Can be extremely energetic, eclectic, or sometimes can be a bit too crazy about it. But I agree. Okay, so Mr. Butt, please, what kind of sports do Vietnamese people like to watch and why?
In my opinion, most of Vietnamese love football. If you come to Vietnam, I'm sorry, if you stay in Vietnam at a special events about football, such as SEA Games or
SEA Games,
even
yeah,
bigger,
SEA Games.
or even bigger Asia Cup or World Cup, you will see that despite of the night time or the working time, Vietnamese still watching the games all over the world.
Over the
And,
world, over the world.
all over the world. And about the reason why that the Vietnamese love football so much, I have no idea, but I just know that we love this kind of sports for a long time.
Okay, we have been loving this kind of sport for a long time, right?
Yes, we have.
Okay, we have been loving because this is present perfect continuous used for expressing how long things are, right? Thì hiện tại tiếp diễn để chỉ ra được là một chuyện diễn ra bao nhiêu lâu. Okay, so Mr. Lin, please, do you think competition is good for students, and in what way?
Well, personally, it
has, there is.
It is on advantage and drawback, but
there are advantages and drawbacks. Cho vậy it has đâu nha.
Wait.
There is.
There are advantages and disadvantages.
There are advantages and disadvantages.
But I think one of the advantages of competition is it gives you a goal and something to fight for.
It keeps you concentrated on your goal, right?
Yes. If you concentrated on your goal, and of course, compete with your friend is one of motivation for you to improve yourself. Because improve yourself and
improve yourself. Improve. Yes.
Improve. Improve yourself.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that's all I can think of.
Okay, Mr. Butt, can you think of something more? Why is competition good for students? And if it's not good for students, what could be the reason? What could go wrong? Think about
the advantages. The advantages about competition, about competitive events for students that I can think of is they could motivate the students or the players to do their best, even the result or wins or lose. Secondly, they have the players to improve their skills or their physical or mentality conditions.
Or their physical condition, physical hoặc là physique nếu dùng danh từ.
Okay, for their physical conditions.
Or
on the other hand, that there are some drawbacks of competition. If the players try to cheat or try to win the competition
by cheating, right?
By
in
cheating.
An unfair way. Yeah?
Yes, in an unfair way. So I think that could be a drawback, and that's not good for students as well.
So do you think that competition could create like unnecessary stress in the student body or any kind of bad effects or consequences? Mr. Butt?
Yeah, there are some consequences for the students, such as provide unnecessary stress or overthinking for the players or for the students, because the competitors might be the competitors maybe spend maybe to focus on the maybe might be concentrated too
No.
hard.
The competitors might concentrate too much on.
The competitors may concentrate too much on the result.
Okay.
So it could provide a unnecessary stress and depression. I think so.
Depression could be the result. Very good. Very good. Now, so let's go to number 7 now. Describe a person's home you visited that you liked but would not want to live in. Strange, right? Miêu tả một cái nhà, một người nào đó mà bạn đi viếng thăm mà bạn thích cái nhà đó, nhưng mà bạn lại không muốn sống ở trong cái nhà đó. It's weird. This is a difficult topic, I think. You visit a place of someone and you like that place, but you do not want to live in. You should say where it is, what it is like, why you visited it, and explain why you would not like to live there. It could be because of many reasons, you know. It could be because it's a beautiful house, but it's too far from your work, or it could be because it's too cold living there, it's too hot living there or something, or maybe because of the surrounding, the neighbors, maybe. Okay, we also have part 3 here. Do Vietnamese people like to visit others' home? Người Việt có thích đi thăm nhà người khác không? What do Vietnamese people do when they visit others? Người Việt làm gì khi mà họ đi thăm viếng người khác? What kind of place do people in your country like to live in? Người trong đất nước của các bạn thích sống ở trong cái loại nơi như thế nào? Like, for example, what kind of place means like apartment? What kind of apartments? Or what kind of house? A brick house, concrete house, buildings, or condo, or something like that. And why? You should give a reason as well, you know. And then what is the difference between homes in cities and those in the countryside? Home in the city and home in the countryside. Okay, you have 2 minutes to think about it. I'll give you 2 minutes now and start. Okay, now it's time now. Please describe a person's home you visited that you liked but you would not want to live in. Mr. Lin, please, your turn.
So one of the person home that I really like is one of my mom workers. Of course, she visits his house for personal business, and I have a chance to.
For personal business, I have a chance to. I have a chance to accompany her on the trip, and I have to say the house are amazing. It's very beautiful and stunning. It's beautiful and stunning.
Beautiful and stunning. And of course, that person have an excellent taste in the interior, and the ways things are arranged.
Yes.
And the way
things are.
His possession are arranged very logical and very eye-pleasing.
His possession, the way his possession are arranged, are very logical, right?
Yes, and very eye-pleasing.
Eye-pleasing. Oh, eye-pleasing. Very good.
Despite that, I would say that I would not like to live in that house because
I would not like to live in that house.
Live in that house because
live in that house.
Live in that house because it's too fancy, and it's too fancy for my personal taste, and it's too big and not very practical.
It's It's too big. It's too big.
Too big and not very practical. And one of the
I think you
one
can
of
stop
the
here. It's too much already.
oh yeah.
Quá nhiều đó. It's a bit too much already. Okay, Mr. Buck, please describe a person's home you visited that you liked but would not want to live in, please.
Okay, so 2 years ago, I had the opportunity to go to my uncle's house, which is located in Lamdong province.
Okay.
And when I came there, his house, I was impressed because that was a villa inside a farmer. So there was a natural lake and a huge fence to keep the cattle, such as horses, oxes, and some dogs.
Oxen nha.
And
The plural form of
Oxen.
Oxen.
Oxen, and some dogs. And the villa was huge. There were maybe 12 rooms inside the villa and a huge living room, as I remember. So and there were various plants that makes me feel I was staying in the jungle as well. So I came there for his wedding anniversary, and we had a nice time. But the reason that I don't want to live in that place because it's too large for me and my mother, obviously, because we have only 2 people, and
We have only 2 persons.
we have only 2 person. And secondly, although it's big, but I like to live in a place that has convenient furniture. And
You mean convenient features, right?
Convenient features, and it makes me feel cozy.
Okay.
And secondly, that area is so tranquil. So I think I used to like with the rush environment in the urban area. I think that I think that if I live in that rural area is really monotonous as well.
Monotonous, very good. Rồi, lỗ 30 giây đó. You exceed 30 seconds. Anyway, let's do a part 3 from that. So, Mr. Lin, please. Do Vietnamese people like to visit others' homes, and why?
Well, I guess Vietnamese people do enjoy visiting other people's house because house is just represent a person.
Represent a person.
Represent a person way of living.
Represent with Zen. Represent.
Yeah. Represent a way people live because
live kéo dài rồi. Where people live. People live. Okay. Hạ giọng xuống. You should reduce your tone. Like go down. Tone down. So it will sound more natural.
Yeah. People live, and you can use that to judge other people, and it's also a great opportunity for you to find inspiration for your own house.
For your own what?
For your own house.
Own. For your own. For your own.
For your own house.
Nó vẫn có nghĩa là own. Nó là own. O-N mà.
Own, yeah.
Own. For your own. For your own.
Own house.
For your own. Ở đâu? Đâu? Thêm chữ N đằng sau nữa. Own. Cái own hoài thôi.
Own. Cứ nói cái từ nó nói từ nhỏ rồi.
For your own. Okay.
For your own.
Okay, fine. You can fix that later after the exam. Yeah, but not now. Okay. Please. Wait, where are we now?
I don't remember.
Okay. So can you just try that sentence again? I mean, do Vietnamese people, can you try that question again? Do Vietnamese people like to visit others' home and why?
Yes, I do believe that Vietnamese people do enjoy visiting other people homes because it's a keep yeah because it helps them gain an inside look into a personality. Uh,
Into others' personality.
Personality
Mhm.
uh, because the way they arrange their personal possession will speak a lot
Yes.
about themselves, and of
Will
course
tell a
you
lot.
can
Will tell mới đúng nha.
to
To tell
yeah,
something about someone.
to
Nói
tells a lot
về cái trường hợp này phải dùng chữ tell mới đúng nha. Will tell a lot about someone's personality, right?
yes, and also it's a great chance for you to
Chance has great chance.
chance
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 kéo dài. A
chance
chance
uh, chance
to
uh, uh, find inspiration to
inspiration.
arrange your own house.
Arrange your own house. Okay.
Own house.
Okay, fine. Okay. Mr. Buckley, so what do Vietnamese people like? What do Vietnamese people do when they visit others?
In my opinion, it depends on a particular circumstance. For
Circumstances.
example, circumstance. For
Circum.
example, if friends visit each other's, they could cook and enjoy the meals together, or we spend time to do some activities for leisure, for leisuring, such as watching movies or playing some games.
Okay.
Um, yeah. In addition, if the relatives visit to
Either
the
relative.
relative, they visit each other's. They go to others' house to talking and discussing about some business or some personal stories. Yes, I think so.
Right. Okay.
Nothing. Okay.
Okay. So, what do you think about this question, Mr. Lin? What do Vietnamese people often do when they visit others?
Well, I guess it will depend on who they visit. Uh, because if they visit their close friend house, they will be much more relaxed. Of course,
Will be much more
tradition,
relaxed. It's a
relax,
verb. Relax is a verb. There will be much
relaxing,
more relaxing moments. Let's just say relaxing moments or relaxation.
relaxing moment. Of course, because Vietnamese do have a lot of
Vietnamese
traditional,
do have a lot of traditional.
and rule when
Wait,
so
traditional what? Traditional what? Traditional will go
uh,
with noun, danh từ đâu?
uh,
Will go with the
ah,
traditional what? Hoặc là em nói là Vietnamese will often go with the tradition is a noun.
tradition, and of course it requires a lot of respect. As a result, many people will feel very awkward and don't know how to act when they visit other people house.
Okay. When I visit other people's house. Okay, I see. Right. So, Mr. Lin, what kind of place do people in your country like to live in? Like what kind of house or apartment or what kind of accommodation do Vietnamese people like to live in?
Well, personally, I believe that
I believe
people,
that
I believe that Vietnamese people enjoy living in an apartment because it's a very compact house and it have all the modern, it have all the essential thing
and
for you.
there are all the necessary things in there.
There are all the necessary and of course, living in an apartment, especially in a
Especially in the
cái apartment mà hai ở cao ở trên là
it's
Penthouse.
called a penthouse. It's called a penthouse when it's
uh,
all the way up there, top floor
yes,
penthouse. A penthouse on the
it's
top floor.
yeah, a penthouse in the top floor will give you
On the
a
top
bit
penthouse on the top floor. On the top floor, I think.
on the top floor will give you a beautiful view of the city.
Will
And
give you a fantastic view of the city, right?
yes, a fantastic view of the city, and help you get away from the noisy
From the noise.
of the noise of the city.
Okay, from the noise of the city. I see. All right. So, Mr. Butt, what do you think about this question? What kind of place do people in your country like to live in?
In my perspective, although many high
No.
buildings and although many high buildings and apartments buildings were built, but I think that most of Vietnamese people still like to live in a house that has a yard
A yard.
a yard to plant some flora, some fauna, I guess, because we still in agriculture traditional. So
Tradition. We still have
sorry.
an agriculture tradition. Danh từ. Noun.
We
And
still
now
have agriculture tradition. So
agriculture tradition. So
we can see at the price of each properties. Like in my country, the price of the price of a house, which is stick with land, is much more higher than the apartment. So that the obvious evidence to see that Vietnamese still like to live in a house which has a yard.
Okay, right, very good. So, Mr. Lin, please, what's the difference between homes in cities and those in the countryside?
Well, personally, I believe that
I believe
that home in a city are much smaller because the higher price and
because of the higher price.
Because of the higher price, but it do come with many it do come with many very
It do come with many advantages and disadvantages as well, right?
Yes, and like thuận lợi là cái
benefits.
The benefits are modern infrastructure like hospital and school.
Modern infrastructure
like school and hospital.
School and
hospital.
Yes, and hospital. Very good. Anything else? On the other hand,
countryside is just more peaceful and relaxing. But I think it's
peaceful. More peaceful and relaxing.
But I think it's more suitable for a vacation, not a place you would spend your life in.
So, what do you think about this question, Mr. Butt? The difference between homes in cities, like urban homes, and countryside's homes or houses?
In my opinion, each kind of houses has their own advantages and drawbacks. That there are some reasons that I can discuss too. About the urban homes,
It's urban
it
homes.
might be about urban homes. It might be convenient immensely with full furnish and make the people feel cozy, but the square is not too much because there are a lot of people
No,
there
much.
at
What
the
is too much? The what is not too much? I can't understand what you say. The what is not too much?
the square.
Square? What do you mean
Meter.
square? The area. The area.
Oh,
Diện tích là area nha.
okay.
The area is not too large. Or the living area.
So the area is okay. So the living area is not too large. So we don't have much area for leisure or for plants and fauna. And the privacy could be invaded by some neighbors because most of the living place is adjacent.
Okay, so you use the word invade. I think you should use the word intrude, because invade is very invade is actually serious. Intrude, đụng chạm, soi mói. Let's just say basically you can say it is hard to deal with the prying eyes of neighbors. Prying eyes, con mắt tò mò, is curious people, just keep looking at other people, what they do. Prying eyes, con mắt tò mò của những người hàng xóm. It's hard to deal with the prying eyes of neighbors. Anything else?
Yes, and but when people live in the urban areas, they easily to access a educational.
They can easily get access to.
They can easily get access to educational or healthcare facilities. So that are some advantages. But on the other hand, the rural homes make people feel comfortable because the tranquil environment and the clean atmosphere is appropriate for the older generations.
For the older generations, see.
For the older generations. But if the youngster live in the rural areas, they might feel monotonous and boring, and they have
the life there is monotonous.
And they
do not feel monotonous, right? Họ không có cảm thấy monotonous nha. Họ cảm thấy bored. They feel bored. They do not feel monotonous. The life there is
feel bored.
The life there is boring.
They might feel. Yes, they might feel bored and. Okay. They might feel bored and their life might be monotonous, and they do not have much opportunity to get a good education or a good job vacancy in rural areas. So that's are some main difference between each living place that I can think of.
Okay. All right. Very good. Let's move on to number 8. Describe an interesting conversation you had with someone. Miêu tả what's wrong? Why oh no?
Or because
Why oh
I
no?
don't usually like to talk with other people.
Okay. Describe an interesting conversation. So that conversation should be interesting, not just a normal conversation. It might provide you with an impact or something, I think. Miêu tả một cái cuộc đàm thoại thú vị mà bạn đã có với một người khác, một người nào đó. You should say who you spoke with, past tense, okay? Where you were, what the conversation was about, and explain why you think it was interesting. This is a bit strange, right? And then part 3, you have 3 questions here. About, is it difficult to start a conversation with someone you don't know and why? Liệu có khó để mà bắt chuyện với một người nào mà bạn không biết không? Tại sao? In your opinion, what makes other person interesting to talk to? Theo ý bạn thì điều gì làm cho một cái người khác thú vị để mà nói chuyện với người đó? Tức là cái điều gì làm cho một cái người trở nên thú vị để mà được người khác bắt chuyện? So it means like what makes that person interesting, so other people will talk to them. And what is the most interesting conversation you have ever had? Cái cuộc đàm thoại thú vị nhất mà bạn đã từng có là gì? Okay, 3 questions. And you have 2 minutes to think. Start now, please. Okay, it's time to talk now. Please describe an interesting conversation you had with someone. Be careful with the past tense, okay? Mr. Lin, you first, please.
So one of the most interesting conversation that I can remember is when I spoke to my sister. If I remember correctly, it took place in Saturday, and of course in my apartment. Because I don't usually enjoy having conversation with other people, talking to my sister is talking to my sister is definitely more refreshing, because I would say that she much closer to me. We mostly discuss about education system, because education system education system, because she have a chance to experience different ones.
She had the chance to.
She had the chance to experience a totally different one. Of course, this we have a very damn it.
Yes.
Of course, the conversation was very interesting, because it gave me a new aspect and a new point of view when we think about something just ordinary, like education system. Education system and school in general. School.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Mr. Butt, please, can you describe an interesting conversation you had with someone?
All right, so it's about 2 years ago, in 2018.
It was about
it was about 2018. I met my colleagues, also my tutor in my university, in a famous tourist spot in Thailand. So we was very surprised because we met in a different country. So we decided to took some cafe in a cafe.
We decided
to take some cafe and have a conversation. I remember that
we decided to go to a cafe to have a conversation.
Yes, we decided to go inside the cafe and have some conversation.
Okay.
As I remember, we discussed about history. We discussed about historical and cultural knowledge.
Historical
historical and cultural knowledge because we have the same hobbies about that. Um, Besides that, we talk about the old memories and about the time we spent in the universities,
Okay.
and that's and yesterday, and
I'm listening.
the reason why that I thought that this was very interesting because we have time to look back about our memories because both of them are nostalgic person, I guess.
Both of us are nostalgic people, right?
Yes,
Nostalgic person. Okay.
nostalgic people, and besides that, I gain a lot of useful information from him, and we share the difficulties and personal issues in our life. Then I and he gave me some advice about uh, professions or even my daily life. So I really enjoyed it.
Okay, good. Right. Okay. Let's go to part 3 now, Mr. Lin, please. So, what is the most interesting conversation you have ever had? Was it the conversation? Yeah.
Mà câu nó không lặp lại à?
Wait, because
nó
you
lặp
told
lại.
us about okay, you told us that this is the most interesting conversation, right? Okay, I'll ask you a second question. So, Mr. Lin, in your opinion, what makes another person interesting to talk to and why?
Well, personally, I believe that to make you actually pay attention and invest in a conversation, the other people need to be focused and actually willing to talk to you, and not
Okay.
just answer value. Đúng không nhỉ? Chắc cách chung chung á.
I think it's just a general thing. Like if someone wants to be interesting, they should listen well, know how to listen to others, not just keep talking about themselves, Okay, that's one thing. Is there any other reasons? I mean, other things? How to make a person interesting to talk to?
Chưa biết à. Because
Okay,
I'm not an interesting person.
Okay, think about it. If a person is knowledgeable, it could be interesting to talk to them, right?
Yes.
Okay, maybe Mr. Butt has more ideas. So, in your opinion, what makes another person interesting to talk to, Mr. Butt?
In my opinion, the person who is knowledgeable could inspire me to listen their stories or inspire me to
their stories.
Listen to their story or inspire me to talk to them for a long time. In addition, they have good skills of presentation or speaking, so they could make the story or some information be more talkative and more discuss about it.
What? Say again, and more what?
More talkative, dễ nói hơn.
It can be more easy to talk about. And talkative là nói nhiều. Talkative là nói nhiều là một cái từ tiêu cực nha. It's talkative is a negative thing. When someone keep talking, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Anything else?
And I think that the person has the same hobbies.
To share the same hobby.
Yeah, the person to share the same hobbies with me can easily to talk and discuss about.
Easily talk and discuss. Không phải to talk. Can easily talk.
can easily talk and discuss. So I think that are some main reasons to
I
interesting to
see.
talk to another person.
I see. Okay, very good. So, Mr. Lin, is it difficult to start a conversation with someone you don't know about? And why?
Uh, yes, I do believe that it's very
I do
challenging.
believe that. I do
I do
believe that.
I do believe that it's very challenging to start a conversation without knowing the other person,
Without knowing the
because
other person, I see.
you don't know how. Just that liking the other person background will make the conversation not very related to them, and may make them feel bored, and
Bored. May make them feel bored. Mhm.
make me feeling bored. And of course, it's really hard to find a common ground for both of you to discuss about. And
I see. Both of you to discuss about.
both.
And it could produce how can I say a language barrier, no? It could produce a barrier, between the two person.
Okay.
There could be something called generation gap, cái khoảng cách giữa các thế hệ, a generation gap between the two person as well. So sometimes starting a conversation could be tricky, right?
Yes.
Could be
Chỉ biết
tricky.
là một cái rào cản.
Yes, it's a barrier, một cái rào cản. Đừng có nói to quá bắt ơi. Nó chèn mất. Don't talk too loud, please. Okay, now let's go to topic number 9. Describe a kind of weather you like. Miêu tả một loại thời tiết mà bạn thích. You should say what kind of weather it is, when this weather usually occurs, what you usually do during this weather, and explain why you like this weather. And you also have part 3 about weather now. So what kind of clothes do people wear in summer? And why and how come? So what is the least favorite season for you? Cái mùa bạn ít ưa thích nhất là mùa nào? What type of weather are suitable for outdoor activities? Cái loại thời tiết nào thì phù hợp cho những hoạt động ngoài trời? What's the most typical weather in your country? Cái thời tiết điển hình nhất trong đất nước bạn là gì? These questions sounds like part 1, right?
Yeah.
But you should try to speak like longer. Try to talk try to speak longer. Prolong it. Like for example, the first question: what kind of clothes do people wear in summer? You should discuss like, okay, what is the reason for their choice? And is there any other way for them to wear? Could those kind of clothes provide a comfort for their movement or not? Is there any reason for them to wear these kind of clothes? Is there any kind of special costumes or clothes or dress that they wear in the summer? Đó, khai triển là vậy. You can just like, talk more about those things in one question. All right, let's try it now. You have 1.5 minutes now to think. 1 phút rưỡi bắt đầu. 1.5 minutes start now. Okay, I believe it's time now. Please describe a kind of weather you like, Mr. Lin, please.
The weather. So the weather that I enjoy the most is the weather is it should be quite chilly, a little dim, not too bright, and the sky are clear of clouds.
The clear sky, clear of cloud, right? Could be clear of cloud.
Yes. Because personally, I usually enjoy taking a walk at this time because it's just very nice and it's relaxing. But unfortunately, it's only happen in early morning, and
Okay.
because because I myself is not a morning person, so it's quite rarely for me to experience this. Um, I enjoy the most because it's I I really like to spend time with myself and think about
Spend my time with myself. Yes. And
uh, and and the quiet. So this weather is perfect because it's just a because it brings the relaxation and help me to think clear and ready for a new days.
I see. Right. Okay. Very good. Very good. Mr. Buck, please, can you describe what kind of weather you like?
Um, to be honest, I like snow weather.
Yeah, you know, like snowy.
Snowy, yeah, snowy. Sorry. To be honest, I like snowy weathers. Um, but it not happen usually in my country,
Doesn't
especially in my
happen. It
hometown.
doesn't happen usually in my hometown.
Because it doesn't happen usually in my hometown because my country is located in the tropical area. So, uh, um, but I had I had opportunities to go to some countries in during the winter time. So I really love the image of how the city was covered.
The image.
The image, the image of a city was covered by a blanket of snow, and and that impressed me. And in the winter season, I love to do some activities and sports that appropriate with the winter area with the
The
winter
winter weather.
seasons
With the winter season or weather. Yes.
with
So
winter
that's why. So
seasons
that's
or
why you like
weather.
this weather, right? So that's why you like this weather, right?
Yes, I like this weather because I just saw that kind of sports on TV
Okay.
and I don't have any chance to try it. So I really like that season
I
because
don't
I
have
want to do
much
some.
chance. I don't have much
I don't
chance.
have much time chance to try it. So that's why I love that weather.
Okay, very good. Let's go on to part 3 now. Mr. Lin, please. So what kind of clothes do people wear in summer?
Well, I think people well, in summer, I believe that people enjoy spotting on clothes that are light and
Enjoy putting on clothes that,
sport được không ạ?
oh, sporting? What do you
Em
mean?
có nhớ uh, sport như có nghĩa của mà mặc thôi kìa được.
I think enjoy
Putting on
putting on something.
putting on clothes light and easy to breathe. Of course, this will allow them to acting more freely and
Allow them.
allow them to act
To,
more freely, and just avoid the heat in the summer.
okay. Right. Is there anything else? What is the least favorite season for you, Mr. Lin?
Uh, my least favorite season uh, is summer because personally I despise the hot weather. So so it's I can't stand the heat from the summer, and so it's really bother me.
Yes. Is there anything else? Okay, it seems like you guys have reached the limits of your of your ability now, because it's been nearly 2 hours of practice, you know. Okay, Mr. Butt, please. So what is the least favorite season for you, and what is the reason for that, for your choice?
Anh đang hỏi câu số 2 đúng không? What is the least favorite season đúng không?
Yes.
Alright. The least, it means that the season that I don't like, right?
Yeah.
Đúng
It
rồi.
means the season you really don't like.
I could say that it is a rainy season, and it occupy a half of a year in my country.
Okay.
Although although I was born in a tropical country, and I get used to it, but I have to say that I still don't like it because I love outdoor activities, and if it rains, that restrict all the activities outdoors. Secondly, the most common transport in Vietnam is a motorbike. So we people can get wet in a rainy season. Can get wet in the rainy season.
And it would hamper or would hinder a lot of their daily activities, right?
Yes.
Think about the productivity. Would people be more productive when it comes to rainy season, or when it comes to dry season more? How about other activities such as like commuting to work, such as sport activities, concerts, or some kind of public activities? You can think about it.
All right. So the restriction in the rainy season could be
Could be quite detrimental for activities such as, yeah.
Can you repeat that?
It could be. I think it could be detrimental. Detrimental means bad for something. Could be detrimental for
detrimental for public activities, and some art activity as well.
For example, if you are out of idea, give example. Not any of your example.
Okay, for example, a concert which is held outdoor could be delayed, could be cancelled, or could be harm to the finance. Could be harm to the finance because the people don't come to the concert because of the weather. And tự nhiên đến đây đứng này.
Okay, now I think that's good enough for this question. Let's ask Mr. Lin the next question. What type of weather are suitable for outdoor activities? Think about it, Mr. Lin, please.
Well, I believe that outdoor sunny sunny weather are the most suitable for outdoor activity because it makes you feel energetic and
Yeah.
It makes you feel energetic and
Yes. All right. So what is the most typical weather in your country, Mr. Lin? I think you have. I think we all have reached our limits. because sometimes when you practice too much, you run out of ideas and then you feel really tired, right? Isn't it?
Tự nhiên giờ nghĩ không ra vậy luôn.
Okay, so weather, I think weather is not that hard of a topic to talk about, but because this is like nearly the end of our practice, so you are out of idea now, and you are really tired after a whole work day, I'm sure. So maybe we should stop here, I think. We should stop here, yeah. Okay, let's do it this way, and see you in my next video. Bye! Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel, and press on the bell button next to the subscribe button, okay? So you can get notified about my new uploads. And please follow my Facebook, but don't add me on Facebook as friends, okay? Thank you. Cảm ơn các bạn theo dõi nha. Các bạn hãy nhấn vào like, chia sẻ video này với các bạn bè với bạn. Nhấn vào nút cái subscribe đó, đăng ký kênh YouTube mình và nút cái chuông bên cạnh chữ subscribe để được thông báo về những video mới nha các bạn. Các bạn có thể follow theo dõi Facebook mình, nhưng mà nhớ đừng có kết bạn Facebook mình nha. See you and bye for now.